Hey everybody, Crystal here with Our Spring Farm and Country. Welcome back to the channel. This week I'm bringing you a unique video, one that I haven't done before. I have teamed up with some other YouTube channels and we're bringing you a do-it-yourself personal care collaboration. So these are items that you can make right in your own home for yourself or your family, and I'll tell you a little bit more about what the others are making. So let's dive right into that. The first one is Vanessa with Van's Humble Home. She's making a wonderful deodorant. You can make it your own home. Sandy with Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming. She's making a honey face mask, a hair restorer cream, and a facial moisturizer. Tina with Striving for the Simple Life. She is making a curl cream that will tame the frizz. And then we have Robin at Katahdin Cooking Mama's Homestead. She wants her product to be a surprise, so definitely go check that out. Amy at J&A Hopeful Acres, she's doing a universal product, so it's something that can be used as a mouthwash and also an ear cleanser. And then we have Elizabeth with Dandy Soap and Audra with Homesteading in Idaho. They too are making some mystery products, so I will have links to all of their channels down in the description and you can go check out what they're making as well. They should have a DIY personal care collaboration in the title, so you'll know where to go look. And then now, what am I making? What am I doing today? Well, I am bringing to you how to make soap. So we know that soap is definitely one of my fortes here on the farm. I like to make an artisan goat milk soap, but a lot of times people think that it may be a little overwhelming or intimidating to do themselves. So I'm going to show you step by step how to make a simple vanilla soap. And what I love about vanilla is, one, vanilla acts as two things. One is a wonderful aroma and scent in the soap, but it also acts as a colorant. So if you don't have anything lying around your house to color your soap with and you don't want just a plain white bar of soap, then use some vanilla, because the active ingredient in vanilla is vanillin, and that actually, as it cures in the bar, it changes the soap into a beautiful chocolatey brown. So it makes it really pretty. So you can either create an entirely brown bar, or you can use it to create swirls or designs. So it's pretty cool, especially when you take that vanilla and you integrate it into the design of the bar, which is what I'm going to do today. So I'm going to show you step by step how to do that, all the way to the curing and the cutting of the bar. I'm going to show you what the bar looks like as soon as it's cut, which is pretty cool because it's still kind of creamy and milky and you're not going to see much of the brown. And then I'm going to show you hours later on how that curing process brings out that vanillin, which starts turning that vanilla into a rich dark brown. It's really cool science. I can nerd out on it all day. So let's get right into it. Let's make this bar and I'll show you everything I do along the way. So come on.
So starting out, I always just get all my supplies laid out and organized. And while I'll do this, if you look down in the description, there is a link to a recipe there, and it has step-by-step instructions of everything I'm going to do today. So you'll be able to save that to your phone, print it out, save it to your computer for future reference. So if you need that, it is there for you. Now just getting my items weighed out here. I always start with my lye. Now I do freeze my goat milk, and the reason for that being is goat milk is naturally high in sugar, and sugar can scorch, as you know, in cooking. It gets too hot, so you can freeze those in regular ice cube trays, keep them in a Ziploc bag in the freezer, and of course they last a lot longer that way, and you can use them as needed. But then as you put the lye in, because the lye can pop it up to 200 degrees really quickly, you won't risk the scorched goat milk. When you scorch it, it turns a real ugly orange. It's not very pretty and it doesn't smell very good. So I definitely recommend freezing them, and you can do that with any of your liquids, from your distilled water, teas, coffee, whatever you're using. If you freeze it, it also cools that lye down faster, so you're not having to wait on it. So there's a little tip for you. I put in just a little bit too much lye, so I'm just scooping out the excess, because again, you want to make sure that your measurements are very specific and accurate, so use those scales and just scoop out what you don't need. My hard oils are melting down nicely, so I'll just continue to let that melt, and then I'll get all my room temperature oils measured out as well. Now for your hard oils, if you have a microwave, you can always melt them down in that. I don't personally own a microwave, so I have this little burner down here in my soap studio, which works really nicely too, and I can kind of control the heat better by doing a slow melt on it. But it's preference, so however you like to melt that. I like to soak between 100 and 110 degrees. Again, that's all dependent on what oils you're using, what hard oils, how fluid you need it to be, all that good stuff. But for me personally, 100 to 110 degrees always works well. So I keep track of that with my thermometer. And then because it is too warm, I just stick it in an ice bath for a while so it cools it down quickly. I'm just adding in a little bit of kaolin clay. This is completely optional, but I love using this kaolin clay because it acts as a couple things. One, it's a good anchor for your scent. Essential oils is known to fade after the saponification process, so the kaolin clay helps anchor it and lasts a little longer. And then also it provides what's called a slip to the soap, which means it glides across your skin. It doesn't just slide right off and go down the drain, but it clings to your skin and allows your skin to absorb all the wonderful things from the bar itself. Now comes the fun part, adding everything together, getting my batter itself to trace, which means it's just emulsified. Everything is blended very well. I'm going to split out 1/3 of my batter into this other container, and that is where I will add my vanilla because I don't want to add it to the entire thing or the entire bar will be brown. I want to kind of control where that brown's going to go. Now I'm going to pour the biggest portion of my batter into the mold. I'm just going to leave a little bit left in the bowl to design the top. And then I'm going to add the vanilla part, and I'm going to do a classic drop swirl, which means I just hold the container up and let gravity help take its course. It's going to pull that batter down deep into the mold itself. And I'm going to do that a few times going around. I do it at different lengths. So you see first I start up high, and then it's kind of a medium height, and then closer to the mold itself. That penetrates different levels of the batter inside the mold. On this one, I'm also going to use my hanger swirl, and this is completely optional. I just do a figure 8 in there just to kind of give it some wispier swirls to move that batter around. But just a classic drop swirl would make a beautiful bar too. So again, it's all preference and play with it. Soap is fun to play with. I'm just adding a pretty design on the top now, give the bar a little bit of texture, and if you see, you can already kind of see the different colors now. You see a more creamy white, and you're starting to see the hint of some brown forming, and that is the vanilla already doing its chemical reaction, so it's pretty cool. I looked over and saw the little red light wasn't on, so when I did the actual cut, I missed it because it wasn't recording. But I'm going to show you the bars anyway. So here's after the cut, the very next morning, 24 hours later, and you can see the top, you can see that brown and white, but on the sides, on the inside where it was freshly cut, it's still kind of creamy looking. You're starting to see hints that there's another color in there, but it's still mostly white and cream. So as it cures, you're going to continue to see that brown develop. I just love this bar so much, but I'm going to show you next 24 hours after that.
So that was it. It's kind of cool to see how the bar can go from a really creamy color, and then as the curing starts to take place, it starts getting some really rich brown tones in there. And the longer that it's in the curing closet, the richer and darker it becomes. So vanilla, with that active ingredient of vanillin in it, is really cool on itself. It just does all the work for you, so you don't have to add any colorant. I had added in just a little kaolin clay because it gives the bar a nice slip, which that means it kind of lingers on your skin and allows your skin to really pull in and absorb all the benefits of the bar, which is really nice. Makes for a nice lather. So in the description, as I mentioned, there is a link to the recipe itself with step-by-step instructions, so you can download that. You can save it on your phone or on your computer for future reference. It is made as a universal recipe, so it will work for any type of mold. You'll just want to run it through a soap calculator to get your lye amounts and all that right for what you are using at home. But it's a very basic recipe. And then, yeah, for the bar itself, I mean, look at that. So I love all of the little brown swirls in there. The colors came out so good. So yeah, vanilla is one of our favorite bars to make because, as I mentioned, the color, the scent itself becomes the color. So you can't beat that. It's really fun to make, something you can do at home. And if you do try it, I would love to hear how it worked out for you. I would love to hear if you're interested in making soap and why. And, all that good stuff. So just leave down in the comments. I would love to hear from you. And until next time, I've enjoyed making this collaboration. Go visit those other ladies' channels and all the awesome products that they're making that you can do yourself at home. And I will see you on the next one. Have a great week.